All right, thank you, and we'll get something set up as soon as we can. Yes.
I just want to add my voice to it. I took notes of what everybody said, so I wanted to refer to those people. And Howard Jennings asked us to say that we are sorry, and I do say that I'm sorry, and make that apology on behalf of myself, and I know everybody else has said the same thing. Pastor Brown, Gregory Brown, said that he had worked with CETA. I also worked with CETA, that's how old I am. And I also did some projects in the Richmond Iron Triangle and in South Hayward. So if I looked, so the look that was on my face probably was discouragement, because I've certainly been in these communities and heard these issues before, and so I'm very discouraged that we haven't moved any further forward on them. And that's what I was thinking. That's what was going on behind my mind. Rita Jones said that the board, she knows the board wants to do the right thing, and I think that by the comments of everyone else, you can be assured that we do want to do the right thing. What worries me the most is Sharon Jones saying, do anything to make it stop, and Eunice Morgan saying we don't want LA riots. No, so we need to do something now. And one of the things that maybe we can do is work on better communication. People have asked that they don't understand the policies and procedures of BART. They don't understand the details of what our police officer training is. That's all public information, I think. It's not a secret about our training. It's not a secret about our procedures of doing an investigation. We don't have to reveal any facts that would be against the case, but we should be communicating better with the people. And I think that's what we need to do right now, is be more open about what we're doing. People said it should go to some other case. Well, it has. The district attorney is looking into it, and I saw on TV last night that Mayor Dellums has also set up another investigation. So besides our investigation, there are independent investigations going on. People should be aware that this isn't just a BART thing, that we're closing in on each other, but that it's being looked at from the outside as well. And hopefully all that will help us. I would like to support the idea of some scholarships and have maybe that come back to us. That was one of the things that Lance Van Hool said. And I think that the ad hoc committee that's going to be chaired by Director Ward Allen might, I'm sure you will, look at all these issues that were brought forward by Desley Brooks and the people who responded to them, and then make comments on them, make recommendations about them. Scott Mace brought up the issue of having audio on BART meetings. Director Franklin had brought that up almost from the beginning of time.
Over 2 years ago, yeah.
Right, and so I'd like to reinforce that we find in our budget that money so that the people feel that they have more access to the BART meeting. We already meet at 9 a.m. in the morning, which is not very conducive for working people. So I would like to find in our very tight budget the money to put audio on our website so that people can monitor it from their homes and know what's going on. So those are some of the things that I think we could do right away. And then I'm hoping that we can find a time to have this closed session, because I do think that we need to show really important action as soon as possible.
Yes, Leonard Sweet.
Thank you, President Blaylock. I know that we're trying to get some things done, and we have not been very forthcoming with information to date because we didn't have a whole lot of it. But if we heard anything at all today, we heard frustration. We heard a lot of frustration from people who are looking for justice. Now, I too am frustrated because I've never heard of a case where somebody else gets to call the shots, meaning you do something and then you tell us what you can or will and will not do. I'd never heard of this before, but I know that there's a police officer's bill of rights. I know we've turned this over to the Alameda County District Attorney, but one of the things that the elected officials brought to our attention today, and one that we really need to run with as quickly as possible, is a letter to the California Attorney General. If they're not going to do anything, maybe the Attorney General will, maybe the Justice Department will, but we need to escalate this to the point where we get something done, because that frustration over our lack of communication and no justice has gotten us to a point where we do look really bad as an agency, because it looks like we're trying to cover something up. I mean, I know I didn't see this video or know who this person was until Sunday. And at that point, it was all over. It's kind of like, what the heck happened, and why haven't we been told all these other things happened that night? I mean, it just didn't make sense in my head that this much time has passed, but even that much time had passed from that Wednesday night to Sunday morning when all of this stuff is coming out in the media. These directors, or at least this director, doesn't want to get her information from KTVU. I'd love to get it from staff. And this is not an indictment against staff, because you guys have done a really good job of trying to keep us informed, but they just seem to have more than we do. And if the public is seeing it this way, I'm seeing it this way, this frustration is not going to go away until something is resolved. And that resolution has to come from an agency like the district attorney or the Justice Department or the Attorney General. So I'm hoping that this board will concur and just send a letter asking for their help in doing something else.
If I may, just for a moment,
Go ahead.
I share the deep concern that has been expressed by this board, by the community around the events that occurred on our system on New Year's morning, and the death of Oscar Grant. I have extended my condolences to Oscar Grant's family and friends, and do so again at this meeting. We have been